Hello, everyone, and welcome to Battle of the Beast Reptile Rampage, episode number 12. No, 14. 14. Episode number 14. I'm Adam, and today we've got two more beast fights out for one of those last three spots in round 2. These two beasts fighting against each other. One has appeared in 2 tournaments beforehand and has done reasonably well in both of them, whilst another one is having her debut tournament in this tournament. Debut battle in this tournament, rather. So, completely different reputations when it comes to this tournament. One has a reputation not even made yet, one has a reputation solidified in his durability. And with that, let's introduce the competitors for this battle. Representing Series 26, the 4 Masters. This beast has made it to the top 7 in the New Generation tournament, and I believe round 3 in the All Generation tournament. I'm talking about Teknos, the Ocean Crawler, versus his opponent. One of the few specials which are taking part in this tournament, and the second to last one to actually battle in this round. This beast is one of the few dragons which are in this tournament as well. I'm of course talking about Bixara, the Horned Dragon. So both of these beasts going against each other. I will say when it comes to the stats department, they do not have bios at all, so we're just talking about their abilities here. And when it comes down to how I'm going to do this battle, I haven't the slightest idea. I think I'm going to do a beach arena. I'll think more about it after the stats department. But with that, let's get to the stats. Teknos, the Ocean Crawler. Teknos' abilities are Enhanced Strength, Natural Armor, Natural Weaponry, Underwater Breathing, and Speed Swimming. Weaknesses are Reversion and Struggle to Stand. If Teknos is flipped onto a shell, he struggles to flip himself back over. Bixara, the Horned Dragon. Bixara doesn't have a bio, so therefore we're going to go straight to her abilities, which are Multiple Wings and Flight. Bixara has 4 wings, which grant her flight. Fire and Aging Breath. Bixara can breathe fire from her mouth that ages the victim to near death. Aging Reversal. Bixara can reverse the effects of her aging breath. Enhanced Strength and Natural Weaponry. Weaknesses are protective of her young. But as her young isn't in this, then I guess she doesn't really have a weakness, but every dragon has a blind spot. Okay, so with the stats department done for both of these beasts, we're going to do the battle on the beach arena. And for that, let's get into this. As both beasts exit from their chambers, Bixara exits from the sky chamber, lands on his perch, and roars into the arena, showing his full self to the spectators, which immediately caused everyone to start cheering for him. But as Teknos enters from his underwater chamber, he just shows himself from the surface, and immediately everyone starts cheering for him as well. Bixara, not wanting to be outdone, immediately flies towards Teknos and grabs the top of his shell with his claws on his legs and, well, all 4 of his legs, and starts trying to lift Teknos out of the water to show off her strength towards everyone. Teknos just continues making his way out of the water to show his full self to everyone. Bixara, struggling to lift Teknos up, bites Teknos on the back of his neck and tries lifting him up. At first, it feels like she's able to lift him up as Bixara feels herself going up, but Teknos only stands on his hind legs, where he lifts up one of his flippers and stabs it right into one of Bixara's claws. Bixara roars in pain over this, letting go of Teknos' neck, and immediately flies off, examining her injuries, and in anger breathes fire on Teknos, aging Teknos up. Teknos feels himself getting older and older and older, but after being aged up probably 100 years, Teknos examines himself and sees not much of a difference whatsoever. Bixara, confused by this, but still thinking she has the advantage now, charges up towards Teknos. As Teknos lifts up both his fins to slash at Bixara, Bixara ducks and weaves around each one, using her claws to slash at each fin before charging up straight towards Teknos' neck, impaling her claws in the neck, staring at Teknos as Teknos just bites towards Bixara. Bixara reels her head back and snaps back towards Teknos. Teknos then falls forward, crushing Bixara under his weight. Bixara tries to push Teknos up to try and defend herself as Teknos bites into Bixara's neck. Bixara roars in pain over this and just bites down onto Teknos' neck as well, as she continues trying to push Teknos up, but it doesn't seem to be working. Teknos' whole weight is too strong for Bixara to push up. Bixara realized the arrogance that she has shown just by trying to show off her strength at first, and is now literally collapsing underneath the weight that's on her shoulders. Bixara then gets the idea to grab onto Teknos' undershell with her front claws and starts tearing away at it, passing the undershell towards her lower legs, where she keeps pushing it away, and then using all of her claws, she digs at Teknos' underbelly. Teknos immediately lets go of Bixara and lifts himself up before slamming his fins into Bixara. Bixara is able to roll out of the way of one, but gets impaled on the lower chest, in the abdomen rather, by the other one of his fins. As Teknos goes to lift up his fins to stab her again, Bixara uses, not wasting any time, rolls out of the way and using her claws, she stabs that spare fin, hoisting herself up out of harm from the other fin, which is now coming up after them. As Bixara takes to the sky, break away from the fins, Teknos goes to reach for Bixara, but Bixara ducks out of the way and bites onto each fin that comes near her. Bixara is refusing to let this overgrown turtle take advantage over her. She, realizing that the aging process did not help her at all, she just breathes fire on Teknos again and immediately reverses the aging process back to the age that Teknos was. Teknos doesn't see any change whatsoever and is, if anything, just more confused, as Bixara then gets another idea. She dives down to below Teknos' eye level and goes to charge up towards Teknos to just force him to fall backwards. Teknos at that point has decided to fall forwards though, and is yet again crushed by Bixara, as Bixara got crushed underneath Teknos' weight. Teknos lifts himself back up again to see Bixara just flatten down to the ground, in which he uses his fins, stabs Bixara in the lower stomach, and hoists the dragon up away from where he was, in which he slams her into the wall of the arena and then slams her into the ocean, the sea ocean part of the arena. Teknos turns around and falls down into the ocean, with his weight pushing Bixara further down into the ocean. As Bixara finally comes to, she realizes that she's underwater and is losing oxygen rapidly. As she sees Teknos pushing her down, Teknos is just staring into her eyes, showing little to no mercy whatsoever. Bixara realizes what's happening and scratches at Teknos' underbelly to get away. As she's able to barely get away from going underneath Teknos, Teknos turns around and snaps at Bixara's tail, pulling her down more. As Teknos is now at the bottom of the water, at the water part of the arena, Bixara's struggling, scratching at the sand, at the wall, anything to try and get away from Teknos. But Teknos has such a firm grip on her tail, Bixara can't get away. She's losing oxygen rapidly and can't seem to get away. Teknos stabs Bixara in the leg with his fin, pulls her down, stabs her again, this time in the side of the chest, pulling her down. And one more time with the first fin, stabs Bixara in the side of the neck. Bixara roars in pain over this and instantly loses any oxygen she had. And now she's struggling to breathe. She's trying to fight back, but also trying to conserve, trying to get out of the water as quickly as she can. But Teknos, refusing to let go of Bixara, has her pinned down to the wall of the arena by her neck with his fins. And at this point, it's just staring into Bixara's eyes, seeing panic in them. But eventually, the struggling stops and the panic changes to relaxation and the life drains from her eyes. Teknos drags Bixara's body up to the top of the arena and slams her down onto the beach segment of the arena, showing to everyone that Teknos is the king of these two reptiles. As Teknos makes his way back to his chamber, that all he hears is the crowd cheering Teknos' name. And with that, Teknos won, Bixara's lost. If you think Bixara should have won, please comment below. I think that how my worst final and Teknos moving on to the next round. Now, being honest, I really think Bixara could have won. However, the aging breath thing wasn't going to do anything to Teknos, because Teknos is based off a turtle, and turtles live forever. For a long time anyway. So the fact that Bixara can try aging Teknos, it wasn't going to help her at all. And then it came to the height advantage where her only ranged attack doesn't do anything on him. And Teknos is defensive enough to be able to actually defend himself when Bixara tries to come up close. And that is ultimately where Bixara fails. I think it's an unfortunate matchup that Bixara had for her first battle, but a harsh reminder to Bixara to not show off your strength in your debut battle, not realizing that you're out of your element. And that's exactly what Bixara was. Anyway, with that being said, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press the notification bell down below, and I'll see you next time.